So let's set ourselves up with light resistance right now. Settle ourselves into the handle, into the bike, and we can start to think about our 3 points of contact with the bike. Hands, sit bones, feet. Just notice how we're interacting with the bike. Notice how heavy your hands are on the handlebars. Maybe sit up like I am. Shake out your arms a little bit. All right, with the resistance still very light, let's just bring our leg speed up to around 90 RPM and try and work on stitching together these pedal strokes smoothly. That's all we're trying to do right now. No real discomfort in the muscles of the legs or no high heart rate right now. Just trying to be present. Smooth in our pedal strokes right now. Let's accelerate our legs a little bit. To the mid-90s. Keeping the hips nice and steady, shoulders away from the ears, elbows slightly bent, bellies relaxed. Slow the legs down. Sitting up together, we're going to shake out the upper body. Release tension in the shoulders. And as you're sitting up, let's just align our legs to the rhythm the music, keeping the resistance light. Returning now to the handlebars, let's add in some resistance. Holding that same rhythm. Let's notice where in the legs we feel this right now. Quads for sure, but let's see if we can't tune into that feeling of the calves and hamstrings pulling us through the bottom. maybe just a little bit of the hips pushing over the top. We don't have super heavy resistance on now. Just trying to bring some work into the muscles of the legs. Reaching down, let's add a little more resistance. So now we're starting to get a little discomfort in the muscles of the legs. Probably feeling the heart rate increase now too. Can imagine right now just kind of a gradual incline, nothing like this, right? We're not flat either, just a gradual incline. Feeling those leg muscles. Yeah, I feel the warmth coming into my legs. I feel my body getting warmer. Bring your resistance back down to light and let your leg speed just naturally come up into the 80s or so. Take a couple deep breaths, feel your belly expand as you do. Let's get back to our handlebars. Always check in with your posture to make sure you're in a relaxed, comfortable position. Let's visualize together now being on a flat road. We're in easy gear right now, so we're just cruising along a flat road. And we can change that by shifting gears. So let's set up a cadence in the 80 to 90 range, 85 to 90. Imagine we're in an easy gear, so our bike's going a certain speed, relatively slow because we're in an easy gear, but we're going to increase the speed of the bike by shifting gears but keeping the same cadence. Let's go ahead and do that. Shift a couple of harder gears in your mind. Notice it immediately in the muscles of the legs. Where do you feel it? Voice in your head now saying, oh boy, got some work in here now. So let's think about time to exhaustion. If I said to you a half an hour, that should seem very, very, very difficult. If I said to you 1 minute, that's totally doable. I'm at the point right now where, 10 minutes is doable, but it'd be really hard. I'd be very sweaty and out of breath. Which means I'm experiencing some discomfort now in the muscles of the legs. Take a deep breath, see if you can just settle into this. sure that the mind tends to wander, we can use this as an opportunity to notice that happening and come back to the music and the breath and the body. If you find your legs struggling to hold this cadence, like you're losing it, you're on the verge of losing the cadence. If you find that to be true, take a little resistance out. I just did. I want to keep the challenge in the muscles, but I want to be able to stay at this rhythm. All the while I'm noticing what's happening. Feel my arms getting hot. Feel my breath picking up. I know my heart rate is picking up. Starting to sweat a little bit. Change in the feelings of my muscles is interesting to me. At the start of this, I said, no way, 10 minutes, right? I said I could do it, but boy, I don't know. I'm starting to change my thinking about that. Yes, I reduced the resistance a little bit. But as I get used to this effort, I think maybe I could hold it longer than that. Yes, my breath is increasing. So our visualization is that we're together on a flat road, riding next to each other, and we're keeping a speed that's challenging. Slow our legs down and take out the resistance in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Now slow your legs, take out the resistance. Perhaps sit up, grab a little water. Just pay attention to your breath and your heart rate now. See where they're at. Integrate that with the effort we just did. Start to piece all this together so that we come to know ourselves and become aware of how we're feeling in a given day, because that will vary. So I want us to spin that out of the legs just a little bit, another few seconds. If you feel like it, since we haven't stood up yet, if you feel like it, you're welcome to stop and take a little pressure off and stretch the calves a little bit. We're going to stand very shortly, but we haven't stood yet. Okay, before we begin this next piece, I want us to visualize we're on a flat road, and then up ahead of us a few blocks is a significant hill. I'm picturing right now the bridge hill for St. John's Bridge. Depending on your speed, it takes maybe 3-5 minutes to get up. So, something like that. It's not super long, so we try to stay with a hard effort all the way to the turn onto the bridge. But it's a significant climb. All right, add that resistance in. Slow your legs to a comfortable climbing rhythm. And now, yes, we have discomfort in the muscles of the legs almost immediately. And absolutely, at this point, we can feel the hips pushing us over the top through the heel of the foot. Try putting your hands a little closer together like this so you can get more up. And we're just going to commit to staying with this until we get to the bridge, knowing it's not that long. Going to stand. Add just a little bit of resistance when we stand. Don't go for our heaviest standing resistance. Add enough that you can stand on it, but not as heavy as we normally go. In 3, in 2, and 1. Feel those glutes taking the shift right to left. Stepping into the pedal stroke. Now come back to seated climbing, reduce your resistance. Yeah, this is exactly what my breathing does when I'm riding up that hill. And I always take it at a pace that gets me like this. When I get to the top, my legs are having a hard time turning the pedals. I always do that. I never take it easy. I don't know why. See how you can relax your shoulders now. Let that belly expand for breathing. Ready to stand? One more time, and then we'll be reaching the top of the hill. In 3, and 2, and 1. Add just a little, not the amount we normally do. Seated climbing, we'll finish it here. Just about 15 more pedal strokes. Beautiful. Take a right hand turn, reduce your resistance. So we're out of the steep hill now. Now it's just a gradual rise on the bridge itself. Let's mimic that. We're not going downhill. We're not climbing the super steep part, but we're still gradually ascending, so it's not like we're coasting. You'll notice the breath starts to recover a little bit. The legs start to recover a little bit. Now we're reaching the top of the bridge, and then it starts to angle downward. So when I give this signal, let's imagine that we try to get our maximum speed going down the bridge. So we're not going to change resistance very much. On a bike, we would change gears because our legs will be turning faster. But on these, we can keep the same resistance and just keep the pressure in the legs now by speeding up. So I'm up to about 90 RPM right now. And I'm in a gear on my bike such that I'm probably going 25, 30 miles an hour down the bridge. Base of the bridge in 3, 2, 1. Now we can shift down to super light and we take another right hand turn. And now we'll do a little bit of active recovery, just a little bit. Right now putting a number on my breathing. It's back to 6, but it was at 7 or 8 before. Please drink some water now, and please use this moment to allow the breathing and the heart rate to slow a little bit. We're not coming back to baseline. We want to let it slow from where it was. Now, as you get across the St. John's Bridge, you work your way over to Overlook. Once you're on Overlook, it's just this kind of winding, curving, very flat road. It has this beautiful view off to the right as you're high on the bluffs over the river. It's a beautiful flat road section, so we're going to use that flat road section to do some repeated sprints along it. Each sprint will be short, but of course we'll still be moving along in between sprints. It's not like we sprint and stop, right? So we'll shift to harder gears, accelerate our legs for a few seconds, then shift back down to an easier gear and slow the legs a little bit, but still keep moving with some intention. Okay, so what did we call that before? Dot, dash, dot, dash, dot, dash. The dashes are maintaining a deliberate exercise pace. The dots are the sprints. All right, let's come to our handlebars. So now get your legs to 85, 90 RPM and get a gear that feels like you're moving with intention, deliberate working. It's not easy. So we're in work zone now. Let's become aware of our bodies. Let's try to tune into our posture and always stitching together that circle. We tend to stab at the pedals as we get more tired or as we lose focus. So let's always keep that in mind to stitch together that circle. All right, you ready for our first sprint? We'll shift to a harder gear, come up to about 100 RPM for 5-7 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Harder gear, increase the leg speed. Down to an easier gear, slow the leg speed back to where we were with intentionally moving along the flat road on overlook. Try to notice what that did to your breathing. Think about how that felt in your muscles. Adjust your resistance accordingly the next time. Maybe a little bit more resistance, maybe a little bit less, depending on how that felt. All right, here we go for our second one. In 3, 2, 1. Sprinting in the saddle, adding resistance, increasing the legs. Slow the legs, reduce the resistance. It's increasing my sweat levels. Holy cow. If this right now is too hard for you, that just means you have too much resistance. This middle part, the dashes are meant to be work, but sustainable. You won't feel the heart rate coming down a whole lot once it recovers from the sprint. All right, let's get ready for our next sprint. In 3, 2, and 1. Add the resistance. Slow the legs, reduce the resistance. One more to go. In 3, 2, and 1. Last one, add the resistance, speed the legs up. And slow your legs and reduce the resistance. I'm sitting up tall. I'm thinking about my vertebrae holding my upper body up. I'm feeling my hips moving independently of my upper body. It's a decoupling between the lower body and the upper body that I like to talk about. Returning to our handlebars when you're ready. Let's bring our leg speed up again. Still keeping the resistance quite light. Spinning that heaviness out of the muscles of the legs. foundations. It's not a rule, I would say, but they released their 2022 impact report to me and the other people on the program advisory board the other day, which we're going to discuss in a meeting today. And so I posted it on LinkedIn because it's a cool report. The person from there emailed me this morning, Michael, that's not officially released till September 15th. Could you take it down? I said, yes. I thought it was officially released. I didn't know. No one else had seen it. Should have guessed that. Or asked permission. All right, let's come up. Get a little resistance in. Let's come up to 90 RPM. And I want us into work zone again. So work zone again. I've got maybe slightly slower cadence this time, but I'm definitely in a work zone. It's a cool foundation. Glad to be working with him. So subjectively, I feel like I'm on a flat road. I feel like I'm working in a moderate gear. I feel like I'm moving at kind of a decent speed on a flat road. I definitely feel it in the muscles of my legs. And this is the kind of feeling that I could sustain for a while, but it's work. And the longer I held it, the higher my heart rate would become. So it's absolutely in the challenge zone. And yeah, now I notice my breath picking up a little bit. Now my sit bones are a little tired. I can feel a little annoyed. So that means we're going to stand up. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to encounter 2 or 3 extremely steep little sections. So we're on a flat road moving. Then there's a very short but extremely steep section. Then we're back on the flat road. And that extremely steep short section requires that we stand up out of the saddle. So we're going to mimic that huge increase in pitch by adding resistance. We can slow our leg speed a little and come up into the pedals. Heavy work, but each one's really short. Here's the first one. In 3, 2, 1. Add that in. Picture yourself on a short, extremely steep section. Now come back to flat road where you were. The trick here is to keep the legs turning in spite of the tiredness of the muscles. We say 2 or 3. That's 1. Here comes the second one in 3, 2, 1. Add that resistance. Attack that little short steep pitch. Road. Whew. That one tired my legs out. 1 more to go. All right, here comes our last one. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right, come back down to very light. Very light, slow pedaling. I'm paying attention to my posture now. I'm absolutely noticing my breathing. Just recover from that. The resistance is way down. Pedal speed is down. I'm beginning now the process of integration. I took that word from the way it's used in psychedelic therapy. Who you are through that integration. Maybe create new goals or begin to forge a different path from that integrated self. Newly integrated self. That's the kind of thing I'm thinking about when I say integrate that whole experience. And I'm including the technical difficulties in the beginning. Part of it. It's part of the experience. What can I learn from all of this? How did this make me feel? Yes. Technical problems in the beginning make me feel frustrated. Make me feel helpless a little bit. I don't like that feeling. But it does. It makes me feel helpless because I cannot understand what's going on. I therefore don't know how to fix it. I notice that. It makes me feel helpless. Which I guess leads to frustration. But now, how do I feel? I feel capable. I feel like, okay, if you stay with it, notice some things, you might figure out what's going on. I noticed that I feel pretty strong on the bike after we got settled in. That's what I mean. All of this is integration. We should notice our heart rates are slowing down quite a bit now. Breathing is coming back to normal. As you can see, I'm sitting up. Turning into my body. Again, I'm feeling the spine, hold the upper body. And I'm slowly now letting my legs come to a stop. Taking a couple of deep breaths. Feeling the belly expand as I do it. Okay. Let's stand up and place our feet at the 3 and 9 o'clock position and let your heels drop. Now rotate. Half a turn, switch the position of the feet. Swing a leg over the bike now. Surprised the blue light has held up this long. Let's pull back on one ankle and feel a stretch in the quadriceps. Stretch the hamstrings. I'm going to use the top bar of the bike. And now the other leg. Breathing from a relaxed belly as we do that. I was going to say, I'll leave the music on for you to stretch a little bit. But I'm not sure it's available anymore. There you go. There you go. All right. Good to have you here. See you soon. Go ahead and take your time, stretch, drink a little water.